Hello, this is a review of the unit test for What Do You Expect? CMP2, and we're going to start with just the multiple choice problems. Now before we get started with the actual problems, just a quick little note. When we're dealing with probability, it is always best if we are able to have some sort of visual to help us figure out the answer to a problem. If you are doing it in your head or trying to think logically about it, chances are, logic's always good, but actually doing the math is better. You're probably going to get it wrong. So let's take a look at this. Using the letters M, A, T, and H only once, how many three-letter combinations are there regardless of order? All right, well, so we have three letters. And so I'm going to put the first one here, second, third. Now, how many choices do I have for this one? I have four, okay. Well, if I use if I have four choices here, how many do I have for the second letter? Well, I can't reuse any of them because math doesn't have any repeated letters. So we're just going to have three options. Well, if we have three options here, how many options do we have here? We have two. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. On any given day, the cafeteria offers three main dishes for lunch: pizza, hamburger, and the feature item of the day. Good luck on that one. And three kinds of drinks: white milk, chocolate milk, and apple juice. How many possible choices are there for lunch? Well, there are a couple ways we can do this. We could do a counting tree, or we could also do an area model. But in this case, we're not asking for a probability. We're asking simply how many choices are there. Well, if I have three main dishes, and each main dish has three different juices, right? So that means for my white milk, I have, for my pizza, I have three different drinks. For my hamburgers, I have three different drinks. And for my mystery meat of the day, we have three main drinks. So 3 times 3 times 3, so I have 3 times 3, which would be 9. Candace is the best hitter in her high school softball team. Why they call it softball? The ball is so hard. She gets to the base safely 60% of the time. What is the probability that our next at bat will result in getting on base? Well, 60%. Which one of these fractions equals 60%? Well, let's go to 10, right? So let's convert this to tens, because that's close enough to hundreds, right? If I multiply that by 2, multiply that by 2, and I get, oh, okay, well, that's just it, right? So we can stop here since it's multiple guess. Justine decides to toss 2 coins 100 times. I don't recommend doing that. Which result should occur most often? Okay, so now we have an actual probability question, not how many options there are, but what are the chances of things happening. So let's make a counting tree for this one. We have 2 coins 100 times. So our first coin can be heads or tails. My second coin can be heads or tails. My third coin, so then same thing, heads or tails. So here I have 2 heads. Here I have 1 head and 1 tail. Here we have 1 head and 1 tail, because I don't care what order it happens. And here we have 2 tails. Oh, well, I have 1 of each twice, whereas I have 2 of a kind. I have 2 heads once and 2 tails once. So clearly 1 of each will happen the most often. The probability of rolling a 6 on a regular number cube is 1/6, because there's 6 sides on a cube. If Jacob tosses the number cube 24 times, how many times would you expect to roll a 6? Well, 24 times 1/6. Well, 6 goes into 24 4 times, 6 goes once, multiply it out, we get 4 over 1, which is equal to 4. Okay, clearly it's this one right here. Okay, last one for the multiple choice. What is the probability of spinning a multiple of 4 on the spinner below? All right, so let's see. This is a multiple of 4, multiple of 4. That's all my multiples of 4, I think. Are there any other multiples of 4? No. So that is 2 out of 8 sections, which is equal to 1/4. Oh, cool, they have 1/4 here. And yes, your fractions have got to be reduced. Last multiple choice question. Yeah. 2 people bought a gift and wanted to wrap the gift. There are 2 types of paper. We have solid and polka dots, and each one has 3 different colors. All right. If the clerk chooses the paper randomly, what is the probability that the gifts will be wrapped identically? So that means we have 6 total options. Well, so if the first one is blue and solid, what are the odds of getting blue and solid again? Well, they're 1/6. There are 6 options. One of them is blue and solid. All right, so that is the multiple guess portion of the unit test. I hope you found that helpful.